Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are unpacking a really captivating white-collar true crime story. And get this, it took a full decade to completely unfold. We'll be using the exact details from a recent Channel News Asia report to figure out exactly how this happened. It's a fascinating look at cybersecurity, the digital footprints we leave behind, and, well, the delayed but very firm hand of the law. So, what actually happens when the person guarding your tax data goes rogue? Let's dive right into this. Imagine the very people entrusted with your highly sensitive tax info deciding to, peek behind the digital curtain just to do some personal favors. It sounds like something straight out of a corporate thriller, right? But this actually happened within the Inland Revenue Authority of Singapore, or IRAS. We place immense trust in these institutions to protect our financial lives. So when an insider abuses that trust, it's absolutely a story we need to pay close attention to. 21. That is a massive number. That's the total number of charges handed down on July 22, 2026, to a 49-year-old man named Mansour, a former principal tax investigator at IRS. 21 separate charges. I mean, that's not just a simple mistake or a one-time lapse in judgment. A number like that suggests a serious pattern of behavior that completely crossed the line of professional conduct. Chapter 1. Uncovering the Inside Job. How exactly does a principal tax investigator end up on the wrong side of the law? Well, according to the Corrupt Practices Investigation Bureau, Mansour allegedly used his official, highly privileged IRAS computer account to run illicit searches. Between May 2014 and January 2016, he didn't just accidentally stumble upon this data, he actively gained unauthorized access to extract the tax info of both individuals and companies. And the reason? He was allegedly acting on personal queries from friends and acquaintances. He was basically treating a highly secure government database like his own personal search engine for his social circle. And this interaction brilliantly illustrates how casually this all went down. On July 29, 2014, a 50-year-old man named Lo Chi-wei, he's a director of a company called Transtar Asia, allegedly asked Mansour for a favor. He wanted to know if a company that was sharing their office space was secretly under an IRS investigation. So Mansour allegedly goes right into the system, grabs the protected info, and hands it straight over to Lo, a guy who was entirely unauthorized to have it. Moving on to Chapter 2, a decade in the making. This is where the timeline of this case takes a truly remarkable turn. Mansour's last unauthorized access was in January 2016, and he actually resigned from the agency later that same year. For an entire decade, from his resignation in 2016 all the way to July 2026, Mansour likely went about his daily life thinking he was completely in the clear. Imagine the psychological weight of that, right? Living 10 full years believing your past actions are totally buried. But here's the thing about a digital footprint. It sits silently in the background, completely indifferent to time. Exactly 10 years after he walked out the door of the agency, those system records and audit logs from 2016 finally caught up with him, culminating in severe criminal charges. It just goes to show, resigning doesn't magically erase your digital history. Chapter 3. The Legal Consequences. Because the law definitely does not take kindly to a data breach of this magnitude. Breaking down the exact charges, Mansour was slapped with 20 counts, specifically for violating the Computer Misuse and Cybersecurity Act. On top of that, he got one charge under the Official Secrets Act. And Lo, the director who asked for that favor, well, he didn't escape the fallout either. Lo was handed one Official Secrets Act charge simply for receiving that protected information. This really highlights that being the recipient of stolen government data is just as legally perilous as being the one who steals it in the first place. So the crucial takeaway here is the real-world stakes for both of these men. Under the Computer Misuse Act, a conviction means up to 2 years in jail or a fine of up to 5,000 Singapore dollars, or both. The Official Secrets Act, that also carries a penalty of up to 2 years in jail and a fine of up to $2,000. Now, multiply those possibilities by Mansour's 21 charges, and wow, you can easily see how seriously the justice system treats unauthorized data access. The consequences are massive. Chapter 4. Safeguarding Taxpayer Data. For all of us who are taxpayers, seeing this unfold naturally raises some immediate questions about how our data is being protected by the government right now. To address this, IRAS actually issued a firm statement to reassure the public. They emphasized their robust systems, specifically calling out their system access controls, audit logs, and regular checks. In fact, it's highly likely that those very audit logs are exactly what allowed investigators to definitively track Mansour's digital movements a full 10 years after the fact. IRAS made it very clear that any staff member breaching these rules faces immediate, firm disciplinary action and full prosecution. As for where the case stands today, Manzoor actually appeared in court on July 22nd without a lawyer, though he did state he intends to hire one. Neither Manzoor nor Lowe has indicated a plea yet. The next major milestone for this decade-in-the-making legal battle is set for August 19, 2026, when both men will return to court. Digital actions never truly disappear, do they? They just sit quietly in servers and audit logs, waiting to be found. So it really leaves us asking, if a digital footprint from 2014 can lead straight to a courtroom in 2026, what secrets is your data trail holding? In an age where everything we do is tracked, logged, and stored, how secure do you feel about the digital footprints you're leaving behind today? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll see you next time.